crap out of us. But
Undead are dicks like that.
They are. And then we found out that Harshnag was traveling east, so we went that way. There were a couple of crows. We beat them up, and we got as far as this pink X over here.
Yes. That is.
As I recall, we also discovered the crows are pretty freaking rude.
And human-sized.
Yes.
That is important knowledge.
Remember, it specifically being the other undead that were dicks. The crows were annoying, but they didn't do 50 damage in one shot.
Yeah. Those guys were great. I like them. Besides, it had been too long since we downed a party member.
Fair.
Anyhow, so you guys left off just south of the Ralvin. I can't read it under my scribbling of Here Be Orcs. I think that says Ralvin Mountains. Yep, Ralvin Mountains. You were heading on the. You'd heard word that Harshnag was heading up towards the lovely town of Dead Snows. So you were about to take a north on the fork where the pink X is at to head up that way, if I recall correctly.
I believe so.
That was the plan.
Yes. Has the plan changed?
When in doubt, set fire to it.
I believe the plan has not changed, but we're going to head towards Newfort first and see if Harshnag had passed that way.
Okay. Yeah, so they're all right. So heading north on the path, as you head north and more in towards the Ralvin Mountains, the land starts to go a bit more towards scrub, fewer trees, fewer vegetation in general, and what's left is kind of squat. On your way, you spot what appears to be a cloud giant castle. On your way, about a day into your journey, you spot a cloud giant castle flying overhead.
Does it look like a familiar cloud giant?
I was about to ask.
It does not have a giant wizard hat on it. No. It looks like a more normal castle. It's heading south currently. It looks like.
I don't suppose cloud giants use heliographs, do they? It seems like it would make sense for them.
Use which, sorry?
Communicating via angled mirrors.
Oh, they could actually. I'd never thought of it. Why do you ask?
Because we could, in theory, communicate with them if they did, and if we were aware that they did. And we did grab a bunch of books on giants, and we have had lots of encounters with cloud giants where they weren't hitting us with stuff.
Fair. I like the idea that they use heliographs to communicate. Heliographs?
Heliographs are in fact a thing.
Okay. Yeah, I like this idea. It makes sense. Okay, it's canon. Yes, you can attempt to heliograph at them.
What would we be attempting to figure out in this particular moment?
Yeah, How are you? What are you using to heliograph at them?
Oh, I was raising the possibility if we did, and we could ask them about Harshnag if they had any news of him.
I can't imagine none of us have a mirror.
Or
True.
I mean,
We are the
Ox is
Some of
kind
us
of
use makeup.
reflective.
not
True.
to mention a sword works in a
I mean,
pin.
for real, yes, we could just shine up Ox, but I think we have an actual mirror present. And you
Yeah,
can, in
between
fact,
all-
use a mirror to send code that way.
Yeah, between all of you, you probably have enough mirrors and general shiny things to make a heliograph. What do you want to heliograph at them?
I'm sure there's a generic greeting so that you don't start sending your whole message until you know they're watching.
Just the giant, the greeting in giant. That would be Inks's greeting.
Okay.
I'm sure
just
there's
saying,
one
if they
for
respond, you-
Verfearzer.
The last one would always be Sky.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you have a generic giant greeting. That's one of those phrases that Zephyros taught you. Okay. Okay. All right, you beam it back. You beam your request to know who they are up to the Cloud Castle. A couple of minutes pass. The castle drifts a bit further on, and they beam back at you. Countess Sansuri, who are you?
Oh, we found one of the leaders.
Countess, I believe her rank is.
So the leader of the Cloud Giants.
Countess Sansuri.
I'm thinking we should just say we're friends of Zephyros and we're looking for Harshnag.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of don't want to share anything else unless they start like interrogating or something. But if they really want to know who we are and what we're up to, they're going to come down.
All right, so you're beaming up that you're friends of Zephyros?
Yep.
Okay.
And we're looking for Harshnag.
A frost giant named Harshnag. Just in case they don't all know each other. Don't be racist.
There are a lot of giants in the world. So another couple minutes pass, and your beamed message this time is, "Friends of Zephyros are no."
Sorry, what was the message?
Totally
You cut
missed the
out?
last part of that, yeah.
Friends of Zephyros are no friends of ours.
Oh, crap.
Go beat the traitor.
Never mind then.
Regret that you feel that way. Hope we can talk later once you've changed your mind.
Like a text message. You're like intended.
Yeah.
I think this is the part where somebody just says K to somebody else.
Like texting before they standardized spelling. Oh God.
But you have to make sure to lowercase the K and add a period after.
And I was too young to own a phone in those days, so I can't really sympathize.
Back when you had
No,
to hit the 7 key 4 times to get an F.
It was like texting with a beeper.
Now, I'm thinking of old Navy shining headlights at each other to send messages. If it's going to take you 5 minutes, it's going to take you a minute per letter. You're really conservative with the letters. So they end up with a bunch of codes. So the last one's probably just ADP, and they know what that means.
Yep. They don't respond to your last one.
That's fair enough. Let's go.
Rude. Okay. Well then. Head
And that's
onward.
why I like Zephyros better.
Certainly significantly more polite.
Interesting that they called him a traitor.
Well, we knew that at least knew that wizards were a bit rare for cloud giants, but I don't remember. I don't think we actually knew he was a traitor, but yeah. But I can guess if he's helping out humans, then they might think so.
Consulting with your volumes of giant lore, wizards aren't traitors. They're just not like
Weirdos.
well,
Yeah, weirdos. Yeah, but I meant more along the lines of he's working with or at least he was working with humans. So
Yeah, the traitor thing might be new.
Or the Countess had some crazy scheme and he said nope.
like he was trying to. One of the people he was trying to get a hold of was her, right? When we were originally traveling with him.
Correct. This might be new.
Yeah, maybe.
Nevertheless, they're not going to help us now, so.
I can only hope Harshnag will.
giants, man.
They're even fighting their own kinds now, just like the frost giants.
Well, at least we know that not all giants are bastards.
What a ringing endorsement of their race.
You can say that about a lot of races, darling.
There was an old soldier I used to know who had the most beautiful expression for it. All bastards is bastards, but some bastards is bastards.
How very eloquent.
He sounds like a real charmer.
He was one of a kind.
Alright. So cloud giants are dicks. Water still wet.
Surprise!
Yeah.
Do things still fall down? Because we are getting near Netheril.
Sorry?
Do things still fall down? Because we are getting near Netheril.
Netheril is. Oh, yeah, you are. You're getting closer, but you're not quite in. So the mountains that Dead Snows are on also are part of the Nether Mountains, but you're not quite. You're not quite at Netheril just yet.
Sorry, have I missed something about the gravity?
One of the signature things of the Netheril civilization from like 3 ages ago is they built all their cities on floating mountains.
Yeah, and the current mountain range was formed at least partly because those cities crashed to Earth and destroyed their entire empire.
Right, so stuff still floats in places?
Stuff still floats in places. If there weren't such awful shit going on, there'd be a lot of adventurers going through these mountains looking for old Netherese relics. There's still some hidden.
Plus, there's the stuff the adventurers bought and then brought with them when they died.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's still some very nasty things that are in these mountains.
But that's not what we're up to. We're on our way to Newport.
You are. You are indeed. All right. So, Newport. You can come up to Newport. It's for the most part, Newport is a basic Mott and Bailey type deal. It's mostly just here as a watchtower along the road to give early warning to the larger cities that are further along the road. But there are a few dozen cottages, a couple of shops. You come into town without much trouble at all. You can find your way to a lovely inn called the Hero's Reward. It's not hard to find. There are signs everywhere on the street for it because it's the only inn in town.
That makes it so much easier.
It's surprisingly warm inside. It's well lit. There are still a few adventurers around, and a few of what look like locals drinking at the tables. There's a half-elf barkeep sitting behind the counter, counting some gold as you walk in.
See about getting a drink, setting up stage shop, and asking around.
All right. So go up to the barkeep, talk to him. Hello! Hello there! New folk in town, passing through, staying long? He cocks an eyebrow at you.
Oh, darling, just passing through, but looking for the most interesting place to stop by while we're here, and this seems to be yours.
Ha! It's the only interesting place around these parts. Welcome to Newport, the Hero's Comfort. I'm Delph. I own this here lovely tavern. We're happy to have you, Miss...
Oh, Inks, darling, but you can call me whatever you'd like.
Miss Inks. It is a pleasure to have you. May I assume that the others who came in with you were your companions?
That they are.
Excellent. And I assume that you'll be needing a place to stay. There's not much around here in Newport for adventurers like yourselves. So, are you heading onward?
That certainly seems to be the plan. We're searching for someone, actually, but we figured we'd stop by in the meanwhile and ask around.
Well, that's fair.
Perhaps have a stage for a show tonight?
I'm sure that we can set one up. Give me an hour or so.
That'd be lovely, thank you.
The rest of you, how do you do?
Greetings, Delph.
Greetings, young Druid, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, Siliqui Brightwood.
Pleasure to meet you, Siliqui. You wouldn't happen to be our wanderer come early, would you?
I am not.
Oh, that's fine.
Although, if you have anything that needs a druid's tending, I could, of course, help you.
Ah, not what we have. I think requires a bit longer than you can provide, dear druid. Having some trouble with giants and the like, but who isn't these days? A little bit of trouble with crops.
I'm afraid that currently we are in something of a hurry.
I figured adventurers usually are. That's why I was hoping you were the wanderer. But none the same, we'll find a soft bed and a good place to sleep for you tonight.
Always appreciated.
Um, you three, you've been rather quiet. May I ask your names?
My apologies. Adril Kormnash.
Adriel?
They call me Ox.
Ox? Confused at the clockwork man speaking, but takes it in stride. Your last man, a bit of a quiet one, I see. I can respect that. Well, don't mean to pry after all. And I've known some adventurers who've been very private types after all. So why don't I just show you all to your rooms and you can go about whatever your business is for the evenings.
Oh, no worries at all, darling. I'd love to talk later.
Excellent. So he shows you all upstairs to your rooms. They're pretty simple. Small table in the corner, relatively small bed, but they're clean and they're warm.
Yay, real beds.
So if you're like immediately check for bed bugs, see plenty of them, great, clean.
Surprisingly few bed bugs, by which I mean none.
That is amazing.
Somebody's a spellcaster.
Or he gets Dynamicus Earth imported.
Sorry?
I said, or he gets Dynamicus Earth imported.
Dude doesn't get many customers out here. He has to do the best with the ones he gets.
He seems to be doing a great job.
The kind of people who come out here probably would just as easily sleep in the woods if they had to.
It's really
I
cold.
would.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean, if you're sleeping with bugs either way, why pay extra?
That's fair.
That's fair.
Alcohol.
That is
That
also
is
fair.
also fair.
You can just buy a barrel in town and cart it out to the woods.
Have a kicker in the woods. That sounds like every pirate festival I've ever been to.
You'd think they'd be more barrel on the beach type.
Anyhow, So, you have lovely rooms for the evening. What do?
Well, I
Once
expect
we're
that
settled.
Alex is going to be performing soon, so I'm going to go and enjoy that.
I was going to say, as soon as we're settled into the room, as much as we're going to do that, head back down, start mingling.
Yep, performing and mingling and seeing what all the 411 is.
Okay. Okay. So heading down, mingling. Everybody's curious about what this new bunch of adventurers is doing in town, of course. So you get a bunch of questions, who are you all? Why is he made of metal? Why does the elf not talk much?
Actually,
What are
she'd probably
you
be
all?
pretty chatty.
The other elf.
Oh, yeah, him. I don't know what's up there.
I point to my mouth,
Has
making
his-
no motion, and then make it look like I'm trying to speak with hand language.
I'm going to tell a different story to every person who asks me. Family cursed by a wizard, pissed off a guard in the wrong town by mouthing off and got his tongue cut out. Just
Oh, Rich.
I'm just going to leave it at I'm not willing to say.
He doesn't like us
The most
talking
embarrassing
about it.
They're all mine.
It was just like he doesn't like us
Also a good
talking about
one.
it while Soliloquy goes around tells a different story.
Ox, what do you say about why Rich is so quiet to everyone?
I think like Soliloquy, I gotta do a different story for each time. So, he lost a bet, or he's in the middle of a silence competition with somebody.
Anyone asks things, she's like, I don't know, he was very loud last night.
His throat's all worn out.
Yeah.
Just leaves
got
it
into a
completely at
singing
that.
competition with a god and lost.
Rich, what are you trying to convey anything with your hand gesturing at people?
No, I just make it look like I know what I'm doing and speaking quickly.
Okay. Make a deception check real quick for me.
Oh God.
You find the one, elf or half elf in the place that speaks ELS. Or ESL.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I'm gonna use my inspiration on that.
I'm gonna say that given that everybody else is going around spreading misinformation, you get advantage on that.
Yay.
They do have canonical sign language. I don't think Rich knows Drow sign language though.
It would be a thing he could have picked up.
I mean, is it used in a lot of backroom type dealing?
If there are drow involved, probably.
Yeah.
They use it so they can cast darkness and still talk to each other without making noise.
If I don't know it, it's something I should definitely learn.
You probably only know rude statements in the language.
Actually, there's a race that uses sign language, basically. It's like, isn't it like the core? I think the core use hand signals. Because they don't talk much.
Right, Keen had a lot of body language involved. But they also have extra arms, so no one else can do what they do. Use their sign language.
Maybe no. We can totes work on you having Drow sign language though. We're learning that. That'd be awesome. talk to me after.
If you got a leftover language, that would be
Yeah.
an interesting choice.
Yeah, hit me up after session if you want to. That'd be fun. But yeah, Rich, you're signing at people. Everybody gets a different message from it. Some people think that you're attempting to cast a spell on them or something, and they kind of scurry away. Like, no, please. Some of them think that you're just rather cross with them. One woman thinks that you're trying to proposition her with your hands.
That's totally what the correct one is.
Actually, one woman thinks that you're trying to proposition her and slaps you. Another woman thinks that you're trying to proposition her and seems a little bit interested, actually.
So you don't know unless you try.
Everybody's got a type. Some people's type is mute signing high elves.
Had to be
Oh,
one
man.
somewhere.
You guys didn't meet my dragonborn paladin. Robin knows.
Oh my, yes.
Her type was like the ugliest people ever.
Oh god. All right. So mingling occurs. Stories are told. Women are accidentally propositioned via sign language.
Accidentally, quote unquote.
Accidentally, sure. Inks, eventually you have to go on stage and perform. Anyone want to join?
Not this evening.
I actually have a question.
Yes?
Can you pick up proficiencies by practice?
Yes.
Roughly how much practice?
Default rule, 250 days. But that's generic guideline.
Yeah. God, let me think about it. It will definitely, if you wanted to do that, it would definitely be shorter than 250 days. Because as it's going, I'm kind of doubting this campaign is going to last more than 250 days. So, let me think about it. I'll get back to you sometime before next game.
Okay.
I didn't
going
sound
to.
like anybody was asking for Hirschnog.
That's after the show when everyone has been drinking and merry, in a good state for talking.
I mean, obviously we'd be keeping an ear out for him. I probably would ask specifically about him. But at the same time, I'm an adventurer. I'm in the area. I'm going to ask about all the things adventurers might be interested in. But yeah, Harshnag will be on the list.
Inks waits until the most opportune moment for her.
All right. Inks, do your perform check. Adriel, define things that adventurers would be most interested in.
Rumors of buried treasure, orc raids, bandits. I think adventure is a wandering sellsword, basically. They either loot tombs or do violence for money.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for opportunities to make money that way, even though if anyone asked directly, I'd say, oh, I'm in the middle of something, but like to keep my ears open, as it were.
Yeah, no, it's fair. So same as always, there's news of giant raids coming around or giants passing through. The people of Newfort almost universally complain about orcs coming from the north. There's a lot of orcs in the Ralvin Mountains. Newfort is the closest place around for them to raid that isn't a dwarven citadel, so they see them fairly often. There's tales of buried treasure. It almost sounds like under every new hill. The only one that people repeat is that somebody's heard that there's that the crypt up near Dead Snows has had some new sections open in it, apparently, and that there might be treasure up there if you're willing to take the plunge. But beware, no one has ever returned from the crypt.
Then how'd they open it?
It just opened one day, I'm told. You'd have to ask the people in Dead Snows.
Uh-huh. Probably giving detailed descriptions of the interior. Hey, what? Are there more orc raids now, or is it just there's always a lot and there's always been a lot?
There's always orc raids.
So maybe slightly more, but nobody's not.
Nobody's really counting, but yeah, there have been orc raids.
I probably would be literally taking notes on any giant activity, like writing it down on something, just because I'd want to get all that back to Lord Nabun.
All right.
This is up here right now.
Okay. Yeah. So you run into a hunter who swears to you that he saw a giant fire giant dig site north of Dead Snows, like just below the CH in Silver Marches on the map. It's as big across as the town. It was absolutely humongous. I don't know what they're digging there, but I sure hope they don't find it. It'd be bad. You can?
I can.
Is good. All right. Inks, your performance goes pretty well. The fire and ice and light show. Some people cheer, others are kind of meh. Seems like a bit of a tough crowd tonight for whatever reason.
I blame Rich.
That'll be it.
That's alright. If they're not as into it, they drink more.
All right. So, Harshnag. Right. People were asking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, soon as somebody drops the name Harshnag, everybody around them is like, "Hey, Harshnag!"
Norm!
Check the door. Door's not that big.
No, nobody's coming in. It's like, "Hey, you know Harshnag? I love Harshnag. Here, let me buy you a drink."
Bill Brasky!
Right.
Gumbercules? I love that guy.
We can talk about Harshnag. Anybody who mentions Harshnag gets a similar treatment. Yeah, mention of Harshnag to anybody in New Forge really gets a positive reaction. Seems like everybody has a story about Harshnag that they like to tell.
You know how drunks get when someone brings up something they like.
Hey!
I just think of Bill Brasky every time. Oh my god, because he is the size of a fucking giant.
Who the fuck is Bill Brasky?
It was like an returning sort of character sketch from SNL way back when.
Okay. But yeah, I guess he's kind of like that. Everybody's got a Harshnag story to tell. Adriel, the guy who you first mentioned it to, tells you about the time Harshnag, he come into town, my house is burning. He'll take one look at burning house. He hear crying of my son. He walk straight into fire, tear apart the burning ruins of house, pull son right out. He hand him to me and say, "Here is son. Keep him safe." I say to Harshnag, "Yes." What a swell
Good
guy.
story.
That Harshnag is a swell guy. I like him. Who else wants to ask questions about Harshnag?
I think so. Be asking around just in case they know if he'd been through recently or where he might be headed.
All right. So you are accosted by a lovely young woman. Ooh! Harshnag, I love him. He is the best. The best. You know what he did?
Oh, do go on.
Harshnag, they were having some trouble when they were putting up. There was some trouble with the inn, with the roof in the inn or something. I don't know. I don't really care. But the inn roof was starting to like fall in while people were still trying to work on it. Now, Harshnag, he strolls into town, comes in up to the inn, sticks one hand in through one of the upstairs windows, and holds up the falling in roof so that people can work on it. And he just says, "Don't worry, I got this." What a swell guy that Harshnag.
He just sounds like a charm.
He is. He's so dreamy.
Has he been through lately?
Oh, he was through just a couple of days ago.
Really? Do you know where he was headed?
I don't know. I was looking at his beard.
Oh, that's fair, darling.
I just want to climb up into it and get lost inside of it. Oh.
Yes, I'm sure. Just like smiling that smile that's like from behind, like, what?
You'll understand when you see it. It's such a nice beard.
Oh no, darling, I absolutely believe you, which is why I need to see it.
Oh, you will. Just keep going that way. He went that way.
She will take note of which way that way was.
So that way was southwest.
Huh.
Girl's real drunk.
That's true. Take note of that.
Who else wants to hear thrilling stories of Harshnag's heroism?
Every
buy a
single
rat.
Bill Brasky story.
Everybody in the bar raises a glass and shouts, "Hey, Harshnag!" Afterwards, a couple of stocky men come over to you, and they regale you with their favorite Harshnag story. Hey, Harshnag, he come by one day when cart from field was kaput, was not working, could not get food into town before wagon left for Silvery Moon. Harshnag, he stroll by, he pick up cart, he carry cart all the way into town. Because of Harshnag, I get food out, I get paid, and my family live another year. Harshnag, he is one swell guy. The other guys with him will, in fact, corroborate that Harshnag did actually do this. Russian has just kind of become the northern accent. Honestly, I like it.
So the whole spine of the world area.
Yeah, really.
Okay. Because we've been hearing it a lot more as we got closer.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, it's also partly you're heading out into the boonies.
Right. So we get general tales that Harshnag, swell guy, heck of a man. We should go meet him. He went that way, and they point 3 different directions.
Yeah, the less drunk people than the drunk girl will all tell you he went.
I heard he went and then cut off.
Oh, that he went east. Sorry.
So we're on the right track.
You want to carouse.
There's not very many places you can wake up in this town.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You would.
Not as many.
All right, let me pull up the carousing table. Ox and Rich, what are you guys doing?
Okay, let's go carousing.
All right.
When in Rome.
Whoops. Why did I roll a D100?
Random NPC ends up.
Random NPC that Inks pushes to carouse.
All right. Yeah, so the random guy who told you about how Harshnag saved his kid from a fire comes along with you, but at some point he vanishes. You all get separated during the night. Sil, you wake up in the communal lodge of what looks like some sort of esoteric order. The room is full of burned out candles. There's a pen in your hand and a note, but the handwriting isn't yours. It's it appears to be a letter to you from your long dead grandparents, talking about how how they're disappointed that you didn't take some nice, stable career like a merchant, but that they're proud of what you're doing.
Oh.
Random NPC. Yeah, random NPC doesn't wake up with any of you. Ox. You wake up in a small temple, in fact, the only one in town. It looks to be one of the general northern gods shrines that are common in towns like this. There are several monks around you, and they are all very loudly praying for your soul.
That's nice. It's nice to have people care about you.
Ox actually is Zenyatta.
I start praying with them.
As they notice you, as they hear you, they start, "Ah! He wakes!" Are you going to stay long?
Oh.
They look kind of terrified.
Well, I imagine my friends and I will have to leave sooner rather than later, but I can stay a while.
Okay. Okay. We must you stay?
Ox looks really sad at that. Oh.
How does he change his facial features?
With a screwdriver.
Oh shit.
Body language.
Sudden mechanical slump.
We're sorry, but could you?
Ox is just going to leave without a word.
Aww.
Rich. Okay, no worries. Rich, you also wake up in the about half an hour later. You are in the confessional of the temple. You are naked. Now, as you are coming to, you hear the door on the other half of the confessional open. Somebody enters and says, "Dear Father, I have sinned. Please forgive me and heal my sins."
Can I roll religion to see if I heard this well enough to remember it so I can go with this?
Sure, go for it.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Sure.
And then I will repeat back whatever they would normally say in this situation of something along the lines, blah, 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 go on, my son.
Yeah, that's about right. Well, Father, when Harshnag came into town, he told me, "My friend, be careful with your son." But then I left my son alone for 2 hours. I was not being careful, Father. I have sinned. This is bad. Also, I stole money from a good friend. He does not know I stole money, but I feel bad. I had need of money to feed son. Had to be careful, but It weighs on my soul to have taken this money. I have done wrong by my friend, father. What should I do?
Well, you should find a way to give the money back. And then whatever else they would normally say, like some Hail Marys or something.
Hail Odin.
Hail Bahamut.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Father. I will go. I will give him money back. Should I tell him that I took money?
That's up to you. But you probably should.
But then he and I, we may not be friends.
Something you should have thought of before taking the money instead of asking him to borrow the money.
You are right, Father. I will think on this. Thank you, Father. Door opens on the other side. It closes again. All is quiet in the shrine.
Quickly get dressed and try to sneak the hell out of there.
Roll a stealth check.
Wait, so your clothes were there?
Hand?
Do you have an invisibility spell?
Ooh, I do. I will drop that on myself.
All right. Yeah. Then you get out of the shrine with no difficulty.
Someday down the line you may be lightning bolted, but who knows?
Well, it's not like I said anything wrong or bad, so at least I don't see anything wrong or bad. So I'm just gonna say I'll be alright.
Yeah. Apparently, you've had to impersonate a cleric before.
Who told you that?
No one. It was just
No.
a story that Harshnag told me once upon time.
Oh, that Harshnag.
Not sure I believe you, but okay.
Okay. Everybody has caroused. What do?
Well, it's the morning. We know Harshnag went east along the road, so go east along the road.
All right. That sounds like an excellent plan. So Delph waves to you all as you go. Coming in soon. It was great to have you all. I hope that you three had a lovely night after you left. I didn't see you for a good chunk of the night. He points to the three of you who were carousing. You ended up okay though, I guess?
More or less.
In one piece and with much to think about.
It's just like them.
All right. Good. Well, hopefully I'll be seeing you again with our mutual friend Harshnag and so.
The hope is mine, darling. She blows my kiss.
He blows one back. Best of luck to you all. See you on the other side.
Keep on going.
All right. So you can head basically straight along the road for Dead Snows. It's a bit more. It's around 2 days journey to get there. Yeah, what do people want to say about the carousing with respect to that?
I'll mention I overheard a conversation. About Harshnag and the things he said.
Aha. It was all work and no play then. This gives him that knowing look.
I'll just shrug.
Smirks at that.
All
I will
right.
share what I picked up talking to people, but I'll discuss the letter with her a bit later when we can talk about it privately.
Okay. So the only action you all have for the day is you come across what looks like a herd of elk. Yeah, you come across a herd of 5 elk. Not really a herd, a little cluster of 5 elk. As you're going by, they look up and stare at you.
Go Adriel, be the elk whisperer.
If only Adriel was here.
Damn it.
Make a nature roll.
Oh, 1 second. No.
All right. How are you attempting to send these signals to the elk?
Should have talked to me before you tried it.
Yeah. How are you attempting to send subsonic signals?
I mean, basically the same way that I would speak, just dropping
He
the
just says,
frequency to an absurdly low level.
elk.
Yeah. So you're basically attempting to speak whale at the elks.
More or less, yeah.
I'm speaking Pokemon at the elk.
And it works with the elk that I used to know.
It does not work here.
Don't you know you're just supposed to go meow? Meow. Everything speaks cat.
Not everything speaks cat. That's racist.
You're the one who tried to speak cat to, I think, like, what was it, a gnome?
I think he's tried to speak cat to a couple of things.
He started speaking cat to me. I remember that.
But you spoke
yeah.
cat. I've seen you speak cat, so I know you can speak cat.
She was speaking Trussum, that's
racist.
different. That's racist.
Observation.
No, I was speaking cat to the Trussum. Even though it probably speaks elf.
It does. Might actually. I think it understands a bunch of languages. It doesn't speak any though.
Again, it's the smartest party member.
It's tied for smartest now, I think, with the addition of Sil.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but so far, every time it's actually come to a check off, the cat's done better.
Yeah. Yeah. I have no explanation for that.
Which reminds me, I actually have a lot of new nature facts for the next time we have something like that.
Yeah. Rilix is flying around the elk and kind of batting at their horns. He seems very amused when the elk try to like shake him off.
If Temple gets too annoyed, Adriel will start trying to shoo.
Like, please don't
know
get
what?
yourself impaled, darling.
Yeah. Syl, do you want to attempt to send some sonic signals to the elk?
And those sonic signals were in the form of speaking to them.
It does understand Elven.
No, it is not my intent to subsonically speak to the elk. I merely wanted to demonstrate that it would perhaps have been a good idea to ask me before making the attempt.
Damn. Oh, I just had the best idea ever. One sec, I need to write this down.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
What's the idea?
I'll tell you if you ever find it. It's now in the world somewhere.
Interesting.
The subsonic elk network.
No.
Maybe.
No.
Just a bunch of Warforged that act as like a telegraph.
Ooh. Maybe that was I'll need to write that down too. You guys passed by the group of elk. You don't see anything else. Anything else interesting though? A couple of squirrels. A camp along the road to Dead Snows. Apparently, I left half the X behind. And yeah, there you are. What do at camp?
Keep an eye out for
I'd
orc
say
raiding
the
parties.
usual, but yeah, extra watch because orcs.
I
Or
mean, I
extra
would
watchful.
assume that we're always using the tiny hut.
That is also
It can
true.
be ritually cast, right?
Yeah, except for the horses.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody want to talk or anything?
I actually kind of do
Usual
want to talk
banter.
to the Tressum and make sure that she, I forget.
He
He doesn't have anything he's been meaning to tell us.
Okay. Well, hello. Hi, Adriel.
Haven't had a chat with you in a while. Would you like a fish?
No, you haven't. Can I get scratches?
You can get
He
scritches.
kind of moves his head into you and is pushing into you a bit.
Scritch.
He purrs at you. I can't make a good purring noise, but he purrs at you. That is a purring noise. Thank you.
Subsonic elk.
Whoever that. Yeah. How are you, Adriel? Thank you for the scratches. They're very nice.
I'm rather well, all things considered.
Good.
How are you doing? We haven't talked in a while.
I'm good. I've been flying around and watching you guys do stuff and watching you guys fight stuff, and it's cool.
I'm glad to hear that.
I've gone to so many places and eaten so many different kinds of fish. It's awesome. I didn't know there were this many kinds of fish in the whole world. I love fish. Adriel, you have to get me more kinds of fish.
I'll see what I can do. We're heading up into the mountains soon. There should be new
Yes.
tiny mountain fish.
You can probably find some tiny mountain fish along the way.
Make a point of doing that.
All right. The Tressum will latch onto you as a Rilix will latch onto you as a source of affection if you just give him affection anytime he comes near you.
Not for nothing, I doubt he's lacking for affection in this party.
This is true, but
Thanks tries to be affectionate.
All of them.
he goes to everybody. He is an equal opportunity suck.
So easy.
Yes. He's the easiest member of the party, in addition to almost being the smartest.
That's a good combination.
Well, in case you missed it, last night I would have sent. We still have that sending stone thing, right?
You do. You do, unless somebody's sold it or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have sent a report back in Newport because we had time to do that.
Okay. What do you report?
What we heard about the giants, especially the dig site, that we're making progress finding this guy. Yeah, just general stuff.
All right.
Did he know that that Zephyros was traitor?
I think I might actually leave that out.
Okay.
I mean, I'll note there are cloud giants in the area. Attempted contact didn't work.
Okay. For most of it, Lord Naboon will probably thank you. He'll ask for any other details you have about the dig site, but the guys in Newport didn't know much. He's particularly interested in the cloud giants, though. What did you say to them? What are they? Why are they not speaking to us?
If he's going to go into details, then I'll give him the whole story. But it was, they announced themselves as Count whoever.
Well, mostly he's just like Countess. It's a giantess.
Sorry, the Countess. What's her name?
Sensory.
Sensory.
Okay. He listens to that and well, I guess you've learned not to. Do you mention Zephyrus' name? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess you've learned not to mention Zephyros to other cloud giants. It's
a useful lesson.
It's a complicated tale. One explained to you should you ever meet him again.
To be fair, if they're aware that we're not giants, I doubt they'll be friendly regardless.
Depends on what you're willing to offer.
Oh yeah, they're all about compensation.
Oh yeah, cloud giants are all about that gold, that money.
Though to be fair, if we wanted an inn with the leader of them, we probably would not have enough gold for that ever.
Well, if necessary, you can always... You have the Lord's Alliance backing. And cloud giants, as Zephyros does, are known to trade in favors as well as gold. Give it work something out.
That's fair.
But for now, your course seems sound. Continue as you see fit. You get a feeling almost like a hanging up after he says that.
Right.
Do what we feel is necessary. Well, I feel like some sleep is necessary. Wake me for my watch.
As always.
There'll always be two of us on watch, so.
All right. All right. Night passes pretty uneventfully. You hear the cawing of crows overhead, but it seems to be just ordinary crows this time. No giant, undead, human-sized ones.
Always a good thing.
You awaken in the morning refreshed.
I do miss that bed, though. But onward.
All right. So you can probably make dead snows by mid-afternoon, early evening. All right. So Dead Snows is another fairly small town, but it's bigger than Newport, for what it's worth. It's built in the shadow of the mountains. It's in a valley between two foothills. You see a few sheep around as you come into town. They're watched by shepherds who are toting crossbows. Um, the actual town itself is centered around what looks like an abbey in the middle of town. Um, Around it, there are several large wood frame buildings, and all of it's inside a crumbling stone wall. There's a large stone watchtower with a couple of people in it as you come into town. It's got a lovely green and golden banner bearing the symbol of Lathander on it.
Remind me, Lathander?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Which one was Lathander again?
She's one of like 3 different sun gods. Let me look it up real quick.
Okay, this is saying God of birth and renewal.
Yeah, that sounds. Yep. Lathander's a dude?
And how many reasons are there for followers of Lathander to be pissed off at us?
Um,
Real
surprisingly
good.
few.
I don't think it was the one we ticked off in the other.
Yeah, no, that was Helm, I believe, who you pissed off.
Yeah.
I'll have to check my notes, but it was not Lathander whose Inquisition you guys pissed off. I thought
Hard to
Lathander.
keep track of all the people we pissed off. No, Lathander apparently is a dude.
I thought Lathander was a woman for years.
It's a god. I'm sure they have both aspects.
Yeah, maybe.
Apparently, they got renewed.
But yeah, creativity, dawn, renewal, birth, athletics, spring, self-perfection, vitality, and youth are apparently all in his portfolio. He's big against the dead, or against the undead, and he's big on planting.
But what if the undead are planting?
No, there's clearly a certain amount of overlap there. He cares that the dead get planted.
Well, how else do you get new dead? Wait a minute.
I don't think that's how that works. All right. So, guards of the gate see you as adventurers and wave you on in. They give you directions towards the hospice. They call it the Hospice of Marthamore.
So this whole town is like a crumbly fort?
Basically.
Huh.
I don't think any of you would know too much about this place. It seems a bit far out of your stomping grounds.
Besides what our friends way back on the trail told us.
Yeah, no one mentioned that at all. It was just whatever.
All right. Yeah, the big center of town is a place called the Hospice of Marthamore. There are several priests wandering around. There's a banner above the door as you come in that is to Marthamore Duin, who is apparently the dwarven god of wanderers.
Dwarven god of what?
Wanderers.
Huh.
So as you come in, a shield dwarf priest comes over to you. Hello, hello, hello. Who are you all? Do you
Introduce myself.
understand me?
We speak common.
Is good. I am Kirilla. I am the shield priest here.
Well met. I am Adriel Kormnesh.
It's good to meet you, Adriel.
Inks will introduce herself and give a curtsy.
It's lovely to meet you, Inks. You are adventurous, yes?
We are.
Yes.
Is interesting. Why are you here? Are you here for Fire Giant?
We are seeking a frost giant by the name of Harshnag.
You're here for Harshnag. Harshnag. He is a swell guy.
This we have heard from everyone we've met.
It's true. Harshnag is a swell guy. I do like him. Why are you looking for Harshnag?
We seek his aid.
Is vague, is unsatisfying. Unfortunate for you, Harshnag, he has gone into crypt.
Oh, I see.
He will be out in a day or so, probably. Harshnag, he is... Yes. He knows importance of respecting those who came before you. You know where you are coming from. You know who you will be. You know.
Indeed, I do.
It's important to know these things. Great respect to him.
What time of day is it?
Sorry?
What time of day is it in game?
Late afternoon, early evening.
And did he say when Harshnag was coming back?
Probably a day. You can go in after Harshnag. Be careful in crypt, though. His old crypt. Many things in it. People here do not bother crypt. Crypt do not bother us. Occasionally, adventurer come and try to go in crypt. Only one I know of come out alive.
That must be Harshnag. We will think about this. Heading into a crypt in the night is often ill-advised.
It's true.
But we very much appreciate the information.
It's no problem.
While I have your attention, though, what can you tell me about the fire giants? We have heard rumors that they're up north.
Fucking fire giants. There is dig site north. Big dig site. Big hunk of something they are digging up. It's not good. Maybe priest, but still an dwarf. They are digging for something. This is sure. Do not know what. Other than that, have had fire giants wander by. But is not are not friendly. Do not talk. One frost giant or one fire giant, he tried to go in crypt. Did not end well. He did not come out.
That is quite the crypt.
He has big spiky stick with him too. Big spiky rod.
I give a description of the Bolonoid rod that we have and ask him if it looks like that.
Yes, it looks like that. It sounds like that.
Interesting. And he went down into the crypt?
He did. He entered the crypt. Do not know where it went. We do not follow. Is bad. People who follow do not come back out.
I'll share with the priest that the rod is a divining rod, and so the fire giants are using that to find things they want to build something else, which is why we're interested in their activities.
Yeah. If thing they look for is in crypt, they will never find.
I hope so.
Never will. Has been hundreds of years. Only Arshnag come in and out alive of crypt. Arshnag not dumb enough to bother whatever lives in there.
Then why is he moving in and out at all?
He said to pay respects.
I see.
He is swell guy. Wanders everywhere, but remembers where he's home. Remembers where he come from. Is make me wish he was dwarf. Could make him priest. A Marthamar, to mean. But is giant. Cannot make giant priest of dwarven god. Does not make sense.
Hmm.
You can totes look for something that gives you an enlarge reduce, by the way.
Well, I thank
That'd
the
be fun.
priest for his help, and then ask directions again to the hospital or whatever they called it.
Is no problem. You looking for bed for evening?
Yes.
Okay. We will find you bed here. You are wanderers like us. Wanderers must help each other. We'll find you bed. So Corilla will take you through the hospice of Martha Moore, and kind of show you into what seems into a smaller room off the side. She'll grab a set of blankets for each of you and take you into a long hallway. Wander down towards the end of the hallway and show you a series of 5 rooms. Here is a room. She indicates a door at the other end of the hallway near you. Food is through door there. Food, beer, whatever you need. Ask. Is not much, but is whole.
Oh, it is more than enough. Thank you.
Is no problem. Come. Come to dinner. Tell stories. Share exploits. Is payment for food bid. Agreed?
Agreed.
Oh, darling, that is all I ever do.
Is good. We get very few new stories out here. We look forward to hearing yours. All of yours. With that, Corilla will leave you all.
So yes, an item that could make things smaller would definitely be a good idea if we're going to hit the dig site. And I feel like there's a good chance that we're going to hit the dig site.
Yeah, it's shaping up that way. My wonder is if we want to go into the crypt to try and find Harshnag or just wait a day. I definitely want to talk to him before we go to any dig sites.
Well, if we don't mess with anything that's particularly deep in there, as they say, we might be okay. Or if that's the case, he might be in trouble. Who knows?
He might be in trouble, but it might also be the case that the crypt reacts to non-giants, and that's what the issue has been.
Well, they said a fire giant got messed up.
Non-storm giants, then, perhaps?
Well, Parsnog's
Frost
a
giant.
frost giant, but whatever.
Or, sorry.
I think we might be able to figure that much out between us, at least. But is it time pressing enough to even risk it? I mean, if he doesn't come back in a day, then yeah, we'll have to go in. But
It might just make more sense to have someone sit watch on it overnight. Just in case.
Okay, you can totes do that. Who wants to keep watch on the crypt?
I guess me and Ox could probably split that duty.
Yeah.
All right.
You sure you don't want us to rotate into just because, giant tree?
That's true.
Look, when have Adriel and I ever failed at watching duty? Don't answer that.
Would you like a list?
Better question. How many times have you actually succeeded at watch duty?
Hey, there's been a lot of nights where we didn't get ambushed.
That is
Not
not the same thing as having succeeded.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure one of you guys detected those Inquisition assassins as well.
I think we both have decent
What?
numbers for perception. We just rolled some shit rolls.
Well, that's also why it's worth having another person, because then the odds are better.
Yeah, I mean, we could do just basically a normal watch.
I resent the implication that Ox and Adriel are not good enough for this.
I have night vision. I'm trained in this. I'm an elf.
And yet, somehow.
I also resemble
This
the
is a
inclination.
ninja giant.
You weren't even around for when Orwell snuck up on them.
For when Oral fucking appeared in the middle of your
Yep.
camp.
Look, giants are sneaky, okay?
I don't think anybody has ever said that about a giant. No, nonetheless, a frost giant ever before.
Oh yeah? How often have you caught frost giants sneaking around?
Not often, which is how you know they're good at it.
Exactly.
I figured there'd be a few more stories.
All right. So, watch set on the crypt.
The
Sounds
entrance to the crypt.
Okay. Before you do that, Corilla, I think, is going to insist, before showing you where the crypt is, that you share your story. It's very important. You must have food. You must have drink before you go on watch. It's very important. And when you have food and you have drink, you must share story.
Well, that is absolutely understandable.
Okay, we'll do that first.
Excellent. Come. Kurula will take you into a high-ceilinged stone room. There are very large, long dining hall type tables. They're clearly meant for communal dining. There's probably 50 seats. There's maybe about 20 people in them. Up the front of the room, however, there are a set of larger, slightly comfier looking chairs that are clearly meant for storytellers. Kurilla leads you up into all of them and claps her hands. These people have come from far away. They are enjoying the hospice, and so they will tell us stories. We ask for one story from each of you. Does not have to be long story, but we always like interesting stories. Who would like to begin with first story of evening?
Well, this is where I shine, darlings. Sit back, this is going to be fun.
Excellent. Please, come forward. Introduce yourself to everyone and tell your story.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, everyone. I am Noisy Inks, the teller of stories and singer of songs. And I would like to tell you a lovely story about our encounter with a fire giant attempting to tear down an entire village.
Everybody makes appreciative ooh noises.
And then she just goes right on into what happened in Tribor and the whole encounter, like, first of all, sending the fire giant away, then the whole spiel with setting up the webs with our druid friend and blinding the giant and taking it down bit by bit, and then her eventually shattering it, causing it to shatter to the ground in ice.
All right. There's some clapping. People very much like to hear about shattering of fire giants around here. It appears. There's even a couple. Woo! Oh god. At the shattering part. Good story. Krilla comes up. Is good story. We like stories about shattering frost giants these days.
I thought you would.
It's good fun. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. Who wants to tell next story?
Adriel will probably chime in, but with a traditional elven tale rather than something that personally happened to her.
All right. Hit me with just like a quick summary, if you want.
Probably, let's see, tricks. Sorry, I'll pull one up in a second in my head. A trickster hero. Trying to think, probably sneaking. Oh, pulling fast one on a giant by convincing the giant that a worthless rock, is extremely valuable, and getting it to leave its entire bag behind to go after a tiny rock.
That sounds like a fun story. You guys should totes try that. Oh. There's some murmurs of appreciation, some laughter when the giant wanders off without its bag, and a couple of cheers for the trickster.
It's good story. Giants, they are so stupid. So easy to trick. Always like stories like that. You tell good story, Yelf.
Thank you.
Is only truth. Now, who will be next? Will it be Elf, other Elf, or Middleman?
I'll tell them a tale they tell down south.
Ooh, tales from South. This this will be new at least. Do tell.
I will tell them the tale of Grandfather Anansi and the fire giant's balls.
And the fire giant's what, sorry?
Balls. Testicle. It was
Okay.
It is actually just a limerick.
This sounds promising. Go ahead.
So once, Grandfather Anansi saw a fire giant down at the water hole, and he had the biggest testicles of anyone, and the biggest muscles, and just fists as hard as stone, and a mind that could work iron. And then Grandfather Anansi said to him, "Brother Giant, you go for a swim. I'll look after your balls for you." He was so proud of his balls. So he got into the water hole for a swim, and Grandfather Anansi put his balls on and left him his own little spider balls. And then you know what he did? He ran away as fast as his legs would take him. He didn't stop till he got to the next town, and he saw Old Monkey there. "You looking mighty fine, Anansi," said Old Monkey. I said to him, "You know what they all singing in the town over there?" "What are they singing?" he asks me. "They singing the funniest song," I told him. Then he did a dance, and he sings, "Giant's balls, yeah, I ate giant's balls. Now ain't nobody gonna stop me ever at all. Nobody put me up against the big black wall, 'cause I ate giant's testimonials. I ate giant's balls." Well, Old Man Monkey, he laughs fit to bust, holding his sides and shaking and stamping. Then he starts singing, "Giant's balls, I ate giant's balls," snapping his fingers, spinning around on his 2 feet. "That's a fine song," he says. "I'm going to sing it to all my friends." "You do that," I tell him, and I head back to the water hole. Well, there's Giant walking down by the water hole, walking up and down with his hair swishing, just eyes going everywhere, and just looking completely put out. And he's just swinging at anything that comes by. And his eyes are burning something fierce. He looks mean and scary and big, but dangling between his legs, there's the littlest balls and the littlest, blackest, most wrinkledy ball sack you ever did see. "Hey, Nancy," he says when he sees him, "you were supposed to be guarding my balls when I was swimming. But when I got out of the swimming hole, there was nothing on the side of the bank but these little black shriveled up good for nothing spider balls I'm wearing. I did my best," he tells him, "but it was these monkeys. They come by and ate your balls all up. And when I tell them off, they pulled off my own little balls, and I was so ashamed I ran away." "You're a liar, Nancy," says Giant. "I'm going to eat your liver." But then he hears the monkeys coming down from their town to the water hole. A dozen happy monkeys bopping down the path, clicking their fingers and singing as loud as they could sing. "Giant's balls, yeah, I ate giant's balls. Now ain't nobody gonna stop me ever at all. Nobody put me up against the big black wall, 'cause I ate that giant's testimonials. I ate giant's balls." And Giant, he growls and he roars and he's off into the forest after them, and the monkeys screech and head for the highest trees. And he scratches his nice new big balls, and damn, they felt good hanging between his skinny legs, and he walked on home. And even today, giants keep chasing monkeys. So you all remember, just because you're small doesn't mean you got no power.
Thank you, Neil Gaiman.
Yes. All right. That was something.
It's always a good story.
I feel like it's like any sort of teen movie and just like slow claps and then it's all ah!
All right. That was a pretty fucking great story. It's good story. We like.
Inks is just taking a long drag from her pipe and then takes a long drink.
Yeah. The commoners also definitely appreciate that story. Everybody likes to hear about giant balls.
Well, yeah.
That came out wrong, but you know what I mean.
No, it didn't. AC/DC will tell you it is so.
So, is hard act to follow, but mid-elf, who wants to go first?
I can go next.
Hey, elf! Excellent. Please, share.
Don't you mean other elf?
Rich is an elf, right?
Half elf.
Half elf. Oh, Corella doesn't know the difference.
But the elf that hasn't spoken yet, or
Right. Here, filth. I apologize. Please, tell us your story.
to be a bit different, but I will tell you our story as of thus far in interpretive dance.
Interpreted dance. We do not know this, but sure. Perhaps is interesting. Please describe your interpretive dance.
I will describe it as well as I understand it, which means I get up, I flail around a bit, and it conveys a story.
All right, roll. I know. What story are you trying to convey through interpretive dance? I guess.
Just the story of how we got to this point.
Okay. Okay.
Would you want me to roll?
Oh, don't bother.
But I really want to know what the gesture for the road so far is.
There's a lot of confused looks in the audience. A bit of muttering, like, "Eh, do you get it?"
It's avant-garde.
You got it. I mean, Adriel, you're welcome to share another story through interpretive dance if you like.
No.
All right. That was different. Is okay. Is new. Is interesting.
Next time, Inks is just gonna have the War of 1812 overture playing in the back of everything he does.
I like. Is good. Is good. Middleman. Ox, you say. Do you have final story to tell us?
I believe I know a tale I could tell. One second.
No worries.
So one day, there was a scorpion who was living at a mountain, and he decided that he wanted to change. So he sets out, and he journeys through forests and hills. He climbs over rocks, under vines, travels all over the place, until he reaches a river. The river was wide and swift, and the scorpion looked across, and he couldn't see a way to cross by himself. He ran upriver, he checked downriver, thinking that he might have to turn back, when suddenly he saw a frog sitting in the rushes by the bank of the stream. He decided to ask the frog for help getting across the stream. "Hello, Mr. Frog," calls the scorpion. "Would you be so kind as to give me a ride on your back across the river?" "Well now, Mr. Scorpion, how do I know that if I try to help you, you won't try to kill me?" asked the frog. "Well, because," the scorpion replied, "if I try to kill you, then I would die too, for you see, I cannot swim." Now, this seemed to make sense to the frog, but he asked, "What about when I get close to the bank? You could still try to kill me and get back to the shore." "Well, this is true," said the scorpion, "but then I wouldn't be able to get to the other side of the river." "All right. How do I know you won't just wait until you get to the other side and then kill me?" said the frog. "Ah," said the scorpion, "because you see, once you've taken me to the other side of the river, I will be so grateful for your help that it will be hardly fair to reward you with your death, now would it?" So the frog agreed to take the scorpion across the river. He swam over to the bank and settled himself near the mud to pick up his passenger. The scorpion crawled onto the frog's back, his sharp claws prickling into the frog's soft hide, and the frog slid into the river. The muddy water swirled around them, but the frog stayed near the surface so the scorpion would not drown. He kicked strongly through the first half of the stream, his flippers paddling wildly against the current. Halfway across the river, the frog suddenly felt a sharp sting in his back, and out of the corner of his eye saw the scorpion remove his stinger from the frog's back. A deadening numbness began to creep into his limbs. "You fool!" croaked the frog. "Now we shall both die." "Why would you do that?" The scorpion shrugged. "I could not help myself. It is my nature." And then they both sank into the muddy waters of the swiftly flowing river.
People seem a little bit down after the ending to your story. But they're nodding in understanding. Is good story. Has meaning. Is not. Has good meaning. Remember it. Thank you all for sharing stories with us. It is much appreciated. We hear very little from outside. Now, eat, drink. I will find you. Find me afterwards. I will show you the entrance to Warlock's Crypt.
All right
So
then.
I said about doing that and mingling and trying to lift spirits again after that.
Anything in particular you're talking about when you're mingling?
Just getting stories from other people too, since we're the new people there and probably haven't gotten theirs.
Harshnag! Oh, Harshnag!
That too.
Hey, Harshnag! What a swell guy! Yeah, you get a similar reaction to Harshnag's name here. Harshnag, he come to me. He say, "Don't be stupid." He lift boulder from on top of my legs. He carry me from mountain back into town, and he say to me again, "Don't be stupid." He drop me at hospice. Gorilla fix me up, and I am whole again. Is excellent. This is why Harshnag, he is swell guy. I like him. Rich, you get a couple of people talking to you about your interpretive dance, trying to understand it. They assure you that they totally get it, but they're full of shit.
They're just like, my friend and I have a bet. I think this part meant this thing, but he said it means this other thing. Which is it?
I, of course, would say it's neither. It's this other third thing.
Blow their fucking minds.
Whoa! You're a genius! You should teach lessons. I would totally pay for those!
You know, that other elf over there, Adriel, she taught me everything I know.
They look at each other. We should go ask her to teach us. That would be awesome. They scurry over towards Adriel. Adriel, Miss Adriel, please teach us how to dance like Rich did.
There's a brief eyebrow twitch at that. Facial twitch.
They ignore your eyebrow twitch. We think it's the coolest thing. We want to be able to dance and tell stories at the same time. Please, will you teach us? Please, please.
See. It's not that I don't want to teach you, but it's not a simple or quick thing to learn.
That's okay. We're willing to spend the time, right?
It took me 50 years.
Oh,
Sorry,
Adriel,
50?
darling, are you taking...
Right, 15 or 50?
50.
Are you playing hard to get
Probably
again?
longer than that. That's just when the formal training began.
Wow. Wow. That is a long time.
These are humans or?
One of them's a dwarf, one of them's a human.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Can you still teach us at least a little bit, though?
I suppose.
Yeah! Start now? Can we start now?
Have I eaten yet?
Sure.
I suppose.
Like, gotta wait until 30 minutes after you've eaten to do interpretive dance.
Yeah, I guess I'll go find a space for dancing in.
Inks is getting in on this and adding some actual music to it.
All right. So there's
I'd
interpretive.
probably. I'm trying to think, like, how would you even do that? Probably spend most of the time trying to get the concept of interpretive dance across.
Okay.
But I don't think Edriel would actually be good at that, explaining it.
Roll persuasion, I guess. You don't do that. You don't do that bad at getting the concept across. They miss a few of the subtleties, but they seem to get the gist of what you're saying, if not all of it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
They're not undexterous either. Like they're not.
I'm spent stretching.
Sorry?
Probably have them stretching while I explain.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they're not undexterous. They're not, elven circus member dexterous, but they're not undexterous. Um, so yeah, they follow all of your directions as closely as they can, um, and they listen to your every word with just a rapt expression on their faces, just like oh, so cool.
I don't know, it's like trying to teach improv.
Yeah, yeah, I guess.
But yeah, she does what she can for them.
Okay. They are extremely grateful. Like, oh, this is so cool. Thank you so much, Miss Adriel. Well, if you ever come back to Dead Snow, we will totally show you what we've come up with while you were gone.
They're gonna start an entire troop.
I look forward to it.
Awesome. They scurry off, presumably to go practice some more. Um, Ox, you got a couple people coming up to you and just discussing your story and whether or not actual people can change their nature. Harshnag comes up. Harshnag comes up several times in a less Harshnag, such a swell guy context and more of a serious question, given the point that you've raised. Interspersed between serious conversation, there is a single teenaged human who tells you multiple times that your story is super deep, man. I felt what you were saying in my soul.
Jeez.
How bloodshot are his eyes?
Not hair is dyed black, and his face is very pale.
Oh, he's an emo, not a stoner.
I mean, the two aren't necessarily exclusive.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but the red eyes gives one away.
True. So yeah. At one point, one of the dwarves asks you directly, Ox, do you believe in what you were telling in the story? Do you believe that nature can change? Or that it can't?
Um, Trying to think how to phrase this specifically.
He's all right. He's big question. Take time to come up with good answer.
I mean, Ox would phrase this better, but something along the lines of you can change your nature, but you can't completely escape it.
It is always like nature always tempts but can ignore? You mean? Or I am not sure I understand.
The important things can be difficult to understand.
Is very true. Your insight is appreciated, Mr. Oaks. So you get a crowd of people telling you how much they liked the story about monkeys eating the fire giant's balls.
As she should.
Somehow I suspect that would be a crowd pleaser.
It was so funny. It is like fire giant has big balls, and then Anansi steal from fire giant big balls and leave him little spider balls. He's brilliant.
That particular one laughs like Jeff Goldblum.
That laugh is brilliant.
It's a good story. We like. Um, Eventually, they'll post interpretive dance and philosophy discussion and music playing and everything, really. What do you guys want to do? Is there anything else you guys want to do before going to stake out Warlock's Crypt?
Can't think of anything I want to do between now and then.
Yeah, besides mingling, X is good.
All right. So, go find Karilla. She'll lead you all to the entrance to Warlock's Crypt. It's a so the entrance to Warlock's Crypt is a pair of opened stone double doors that are set into the side of the mountain. Within the doors, the floor is completely stone. It's completely stone. The entire tunnel is bricked and worked stone. There are burning torches on the inside as well that light the way, at least until the first turn. This is Warlock's Crypt. It's not a happy place, but this place. Harshnag is within. You may find if you go in, but maybe not safe. It's up to you. I have shown you Crypt. It's your decision what to do now.
We appreciate all the help you've given us.
We've decided to, at least for now, not head in, but we want to wait here to see if Harshnag returns so we can speak to him.
It's a good plan. I will be within hospice. You have beds within. You know the way. Please be safe. Corella will turn around, head back into the hospice, and leave you all next to the big stone doors of Warlock's crypt.
What a wonderful change in scenery.
It's something, all right. It's beginning to snow a bit. As you settle down and find a place to watch. Who's watching first?
I mean, I'll be one of the people that takes. I'll be one of the ones to take first.
Okay. Who wants to go with Rich?
I will.
Well, we should split the sleepers and the non-sleepers.
That's true.
So Chris and I'll take first, and then I'll do the first half, Ox second half. Sorry, Rich.
I can actually do all of it.
The more, the merrier.
The more, the less chance of being snuck up on by a frost giant.
Yeah. Even when I'm doing my version of sleeping, I'm still aware of what's going on around me.
Then I'll just skip the middle part, I guess. Go inside to meditate.
Okay. So everybody, I guess, roll perception checks.
I have kind of a slight problem with doing anything with my character sheet right now.
You what, sorry?
Can you make my check for me? I opened my window and now there is a big ass bee in my room.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, two big ass bees. That one's not dead.
Double no.
Well, I guess it's time to burn the house down.
That's if it's a wasp.
Wasps are better than bees.
Hell no.
What?
Unless it's a hornet, wasp stings don't hurt very long or very much. Hornets are the nasty motherfuckers that'll give.
But bees can only sting you once.
I'm not sure.
The thing is,
They're
bees are
big and they are
disinclined to
buzzy,
sting you.
stingy thingies.
Yellow jackets
Right.
are the ones that like seek you out to sting you because you're there.
Right, yellow jackets are the nasty ones that I never want to be around. But bees and
I'll
wasps,
agree, they don't hurt as much as some of the other ones, but yellow jackets are the bastards.
yes, we all agree on that.
Anywho, she's going to deal with her flying stingy thing issue. Do we get ambushed by a ninja giant?
You do not, in fact, get ambushed by any giants.
Especially not giant bees, thankfully.
No, you do not get ambushed by any giants. So everybody who stands any length of guard outside of the outside of Warlock's crypt hears strange noises coming from within it. There's occasional like chittering sounds coming from within it. There are occasional occasional murmurs. Just it doesn't sound right. Like
Divine sense before I go.
Sorry?
Divine sense.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there's something.
All of the above?
No, not all of the above, but there's something fucking undead that was in there. The whole damn place is. I don't necessarily want to say unhallowed because it's not precisely the term, but like it's there's something fucking unholy in there. Something so unholy that it's tainted the whole fucking crypt with its energy.
Interesting.
Rich, while you're on watch, you catch a familiar scent from the crypt. It's the scent of that lovely dirt.
That dirt?
Undead
Yeah,
dirt.
the death dirt
Ah,
that you guys picked up.
Gasp! Death dirt in a crypt. Who would have thought?
Okay, what was Crypt Dirt doing in that guy's house, though? Or a temple, or whatever it was.
It was the temple. Crypt dirt from, across the world.
Hmm.
Because yeah, let's see how far it is from Dead Snows to Waterdeep, actually. Okay, so it's 650 kilometers direct route. Probably closer to or miles. Sorry, direct route. Probably
It's
closer.
about 1,000
So
kilometers.
each crypt's death dirt has different, or has the same scent, or different scents. Oh no, we were in a crypt in Waterdeep.
This one is particularly death smelly. I don't know of a better way to put it. Rich, as you get closer to confirm your smell, you hear muttering coming from the crypt. Very, very soft muttering.
who's on watch with me?
Good question. Who is on watch with Rich?
Is this in the first or second half of the night?
Should be first.
Yeah, I think Rich said he was first, so it'd probably be Rich, Ox, and Adriel.
Sounds like it.
I would let them know of what I found.
How certain are you that this is the same dirt? Or same kind of dirt?
It smells the same.
What, dirty?
Dirty death.
That is the worst Dirty Dancing sequel.
The name of my new rock band.
I was gonna say, or maybe the best Dirty Dancing sequel.
We didn't see any presence of the yellow cult, did we?
Nope. No yellow dudes. No Kraken Brotherhood people either, come to think of it.
It smelled like Dwergar.
Define smell like Dwergar.
It's kind of like Teen Spirit, only different.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the Axe body sprays, it's the worst.
Roll perception to see if it smells like Dwergar, I guess. Can't tell.
Well, it's unholy as all get out in there.
Yes. Yes.
Which is enough to make me confident that those guys are definitely up to no good. Aside from just being weird.
Define which guys.
The ones from the temple.
Okay.
Wasn't it the person who stole from them who had the death dirt?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Sorry, misremembered.
Yes, you may recall that we are aware of that because we were being nice.
Well, so long as none of it comes back out at us.
I'm just very, very surprised that our swell guy Harshnag is perfectly fine going in there and coming out. Many times.
Sorry, my internet died for a second. What did I miss?
She's wondering how Harshnag gets in there without getting attacked.
Maybe he's just badass enough to fight off any attacks.
Or he has some kind of magic or magic item that wards all this stuff. It would be
Or he
possible.
has an arrangement.
We'll have to ask.
Have to ask Harshnag?
Yeah.
Maybe the undead are friendly.
No.
You think this is a spot of that order?
Up to you guys.
No, she was just asking Ox that.
Sorry, asking what?
If he thinks that this is a place for that order where they're supposed to be good undead.
Oh, no, you guys know where the order is. Or where they're supposed to be, anyways.
Yeah, where they're supposed to be, but that's one
And
spot.
that's not here. Right?
This is true.
But if there's one, there might be another. Who knows? Everything is crazy nowadays.
So did you want to go, like, maybe try to hash it out with that devourer we saw a while back? Maybe say hi?
Hi, hip, hello.
I'm just saying that everything else is crazy, darling. I'm not saying I'm crazy.
Strictly speaking, I don't think that Devourer ever actually attacked us.
It's true, I just watched and laughed.
We got the sense it was more assessing us.
And apparently sent crows after us.
That's the part I haven't figured out to my satisfaction. Is it us in particular, or just everybody who goes by?
We'll have to ask people on our way back.
Didn't we ask people in one of the towns in Silvery Moon?
We asked around, but they didn't know.
Did we ask the two people we met on the road?
Well, they weren't coming from there. They were heading towards there. I thought. Since they said they were from Dead Snows.
Yeah.
Was there a question in that I totally missed?
No.
No.
Okay.
We're just noting that stuff is here. And
Okay. Okay. So, besides weird noises, death dirt, muttering, and unholy sensing, the night passes, I want to say without incident, but quietly is probably a better way to put it.
Crap, they snuck up on us again.
do I have
There's
all of
nothing
my
but
limbs?
devourers everywhere.
How many legs do I have?
How many legs do you have?
I didn't steal one in the middle of the night, and I didn't notice.
I'm sorry. Did I just hear you correctly? Did you ask how many legs you have?
See,
As in those things that are beneath your hips?
indeed.
You still have both legs. Nobody stole your legs in the night.
That's good.
Rocket Raccoon did not come through here.
What the fuck steals people's legs?
Rocket Raccoon, did you not hear me? Legs and
I haven't seen this movie
eyes.
yet.
I imagine any prosthetic, really.
God, now I really want to make something that steals people's legs. See what you do.
Moby Dick.
You're not wrong.
Don't be a dick.
You're not wrong.
Wow, rude.
Yeah, so everybody's legs are still there, I guess.
For now.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Everybody's legs are still there. Nothing's come out of the crypt. Yeah. There's polite knocking at the doors of anybody who's still asleep. Come morning, Corilla has made breakfast. Everybody's around and sharing. There's some gentle muttering going on through the dining hall.
Oh, not from the dining hall, not the crypt. That's always good.
Well, I mean, there's still muttering sounding from there. It's just even quieter now.
Alrighty then. Go get breakfast.
Bacon, mutton,
Mm-hmm.
toast, all kinds of lovely good things to eat.
That's continental breakfast.
There you go.
How did I miss this one?
I forgot about that one.
Um, so, you have an indeterminate amount of time until Harshnag emerges. What do?
We just gonna wait for him to come out?
I
And
think
how long we're
so.
prepared to wait.
Figure when he was due back is what, sometime today.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give him at least that long, and even then, like overnight. I don't want to go at night into the Crypt of Evil. So give him some
Can't wait
extra
till the
time
morning
there.
for the Crypt of Evil.
I mean, if you're gonna go in, that's the best time to do it.
Why exactly? Because I mean, it's dark, and when you go in, it doesn't get any less dark.
Maybe
There's
if
that
you
point.
don't have
Darkness.
sheets of gold to hang behind you.
It's
I
always
cannot
dark in a
remember that
place with
movie.
no light, and we all have dark vision anyway.
So we're gonna pull a legend on this and just bring the sunlight with us.
I don't know, do you have a daylight spell?
Remember when I totally talked about getting a day's worth of light globes?
That.
I don't think you ever quite managed that.
No, we didn't actually do it. I think the cost ended up being prohibitive. Plus, I think you actually asked me not to do that.
I might have, yeah. I don't actually remember.
Does that seem like the sort of thing you'd have asked me not to do?
Maybe.
I thought it was something specific about the way you're worried about them being used. You asked not to be done. Anyways, that aside, I'm not seeing the difference between going in at day and night. I'm okay to wait either way, though.
I think it'd also just kind of be rude to go after him just yet. As though we're doubting his strength.
There's that, but there's also the fact that we're on a bit of a timeline.
All right. So you wait and wait and wait and wait. But wait as you might, morning turns to noon, noon turns to afternoon, and the afternoon turns to evening. But there is no sign of Harshnag. The
Yeah,
swell.
I think around when things turn to noon, I might start agitating for a new policy consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Policy?
Well, he was supposed to come back today. Today is half gone. And we are on something of an urgent mission, so Perhaps it wouldn't be too presumptuous to go meet up with him, not because we're worried or doubting his strength, of course, but merely because we're in such a hurry.
Do people count as objects?
No.
However, their clothes do.
What are you trying to do?
Gotta love some of the D&D questions. Do people count as objects?
No, but their clothes do.
Reminds me of
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
one of the D&D subreddit questions last week was, does an unconscious person count as willing?
Oh boy.
That's almost as good as should different races have different prison sentences.
That one was also a really good one.
Different races have what?
Different prison sentences.
That's probably true.
So that's one of
D&D
the
said-
top posts on the D&D subreddit of all time that made it into like our all.
So out of context, people are saying, should different races?
Good times.
Every question about race gets that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys really want to go in, we can do that.
It's not so much wanting, darling, as it is potentially needing, depending on the circumstances.
Let me change my spell preparation here.
As lovely as our hosts are and the meals are, I am not really making any money here, nor am I making new fans. And that is very important to me.
Yep. Of course it is. All right. Okay. So entering into the crypt. As soon as you enter the crypt, it seems a bit quieter than outside. The ambient noise of dead snows quiets and falls away. Instead, you all begin to hear occasional muttering, the same occasional noises that you heard the night before from Warlock's crypt. You all begin to smell the undead smell in here. So the initial corridor that you follow turns to the left after about 60 feet. And that leads you up to a set of 3 different doors. One in front of you, one to your left, and one to your right. The one to your left is already open and leads to what looks like a set of graves arrayed along one wall. The ones to the forward of you and to the right are closed.
Do we happen to see any giant footprints?
No, but it's entirely stone here.
And
There's
smell.
none. There's not enough dust or detritus on the floor to leave footprints.
Alrighty then.
The people
I'm
we had
gonna-
all talked to about Harshnag, did they kind of give us a description of what he looked like and what kind of like what he normally had on him?
Frost giant, magnificent beard. He carries an enormous great axe, enormous magical great axe. He wears full metal armor, magnificent beard. Well, that's about as specific as they go, though.
There you go, Adriel. Can you locate giant magical great axe?
It would only locate the nearest giant magical great axe.
There's an excellent chance that that's good enough.
I would have to change my spell prep though.
Do we have the wand?
We do, but it weighs more than I do.
That's why we
So
kept
one
it
of
in
us
a
could
bag of
use it.
holding, right?
One of us could try it.
Cast locate object.
Mm-hmm.
Through the rod. 1 second.
Right. Trying to think. You do get a sense that you do sense a giant great axe. It's coming from somewhere between the left and forward doors.
Left is the open door?
Yeah.
Go that way.
All right. So you're walking. You walk by crypt after crypt after crypt, grave after grave after grave. Many of them are marked in a language which none of you seem to recognize. It uses the same lettering as or similar lettering as common, but it's not quite the same. The names also seem weird. They're not the same type of names that you guys are used to. They seem archaic. Further on, you notice a few that are in Elvish, a few more that are in completely alien script. And each one of them has a sculpture standing atop the gravestone between its legs.
What type of statues are these?
They're sculptures of people.
Like human, dwarf.
It varies. So most
Does the race of the sculpture match the script?
It does.
Okay. So we can. It looks like this is a sculpture of the person buried here.
You come across several more open doors along your way. As you go further in, though, there's eventually the noise within the cave begins to get slowly louder and louder. As it gets louder, the graves start to get a little grander. Slowly but surely. Okay. All right. So yeah, slowly but surely, the background noise in the cave increases, and the graves get fancier and fancier. The inscriptions on their gravestones get longer and longer, and the statues get bigger and bigger. Are you guys stopping to read any of the inscriptions, just out of curiosity?
I mean, if we can.
You definitely.
Give me them at least.
Yeah, it's not a super. Fully reading them isn't a super fast thing.
They're like, here lies Uncle Fred. A great big rock fell on his head.
They're a little bit more wordy than that. But eventually, after a particular, eventually you come to a larger, more open chamber. There is a particularly fine statue and gravestone sitting before this one. And for the first time, the door is not locked. Or the door is not open. Sorry. Completely opposite thing. The door is not open where you're going.
How big are these doors?
Giant-sized.
So gigantic.
And is there any evidence of someone having come through recently?
There, this far deep, there is some disturbed dust and stuff. So yeah, there's some evidence of somebody having gone through here.
Somebody people-sized or somebody giant-sized?
Something big, or many.
Are you saying giants aren't people?
That's racist. We listen at the closed door.
Make a perception check.
Holy shit.
Damn. So you hear some low chanting. Low chanting in a very deep voice, coming from behind the wall.
Does it sound like chanting in Giant from what we know of Giant, or?
Probably, yeah.
Let's quietly message people and let them know.
Can we even reach the door handles?
If you had a 10-foot pole, you could. Or
if we stood on top of each other.
That too, I was about to say.
Stand here and stand very still. All right, let's open the door.
All right. So, beyond the door rasps open, stone on stone rasps open, as you give a great heave upon its handles. Beyond the door, there is an enormous giant crouched before an even more enormous statue. He has a great axe set by his side. He wears a set of metal armor that covers his torso and head. And he is chanting in a deep, deep murmur to himself.
Okay, important question. How is his beard?
His beard is fucking fabulous.
Found him.
But is it magnificent?
It is. It is like you could literally climb into that beard and get lost in it.
Sounds like our man. We shouldn't interrupt him while he's, praying and stuff.
Yeah, as long as he's not like dead in here, that's always a good sign.
Oh no, he's alive. As he hears the door open, he murmurs something in giant, but he continues. He continues for a good long while. Eventually,
Given that he's not dead, I'm content to wait for a while. We brought books.
Yeah.
yes, he brought several. But eventually, probably an hour or so later, Harshnag stops, turns his head towards the door. His eyes widen in surprise to see you. Little folk, what are you doing here? It is not safe for you to be here.
Our apologies, Sir Harshnag, correct?
Yes, is correct.
Apologies for disturbing you, but we were unfortunately sent to look for you. We didn't want to disturb.
He stands up quickly, stalks over to the door. Come in, quickly.
Go ahead.
Do so.
He closes the door behind you. You were not bothered on the way in, yes?
I'm sorry, say again?
You were not bothered on the way in, yes?
We were not. We moved quietly and respectfully through the halls.
Good. He's good. Shouldn't be a problem when we're heading out, but stay close to me. Now, you were saying something about needing me.
Yes, well, we were told that you might be able to help us locate a particular giant artifact.
Which one? There are a lot of giant artifacts around the north. You'll have to be.
We were told that hopefully you could help locate, can't remember the name of it, the Oracle of
Yeah, I have the alpha.
Haman?
Yeah, my brain tried to give me Eye of Odin.
Totally.
I mean,
And yeah. Wait, is the Eye of the Allfather an object or an oracle?
It's an oracle.
Okay. Anyway, I'd probably name drop the Eye of the Allfather then.
I do know where to find this. It is true. Why are you little people looking for it? How did you find its name?
We were hoping to, kind of waves a hand, address the issue with the ordnance, and we're told from sources that the Eye of the Allfather may have answers we can use. As for why, the ordning being broken, or the issue with the ordning, is creating problems for all peoples.
Is true. Issue does create problems for all people.
So the part of it is
seek,
also we're trying to find the Storm King, right?
Indeed, we seek to find the Storm King to avert a mad war of the living against the living, while an army of the dead grows up practically unopposed.
Is true. That is
It's been a good 100 years since the last time the Sword Coast was destroyed, so.
Yeah, you know, it's about time or something.
It's one of those years.
Yeah, it's one of those years where, Al looks at the world and says, "This is the year I'm gonna fuck everybody's shit."
I was but a babe last time.
Fuck you, civilization.
This is a good reason. I can lead you there. We will talk outside the crypt, though. It's not safe here. Especially not for anyone who's not me. Really.
Inks just smirks at that.
We will follow your lead.
Don't smirk. It's not funny. This is not a place for laughter. Follow me closely. Hopefully we find nothing else. No one here. If we do, well, we'll see. He stands and goes to open the door back into the crypt. And I think that's where we're going to end tonight, if you all don't mind.
Not at all.
Such cliffhanger.
I've done worse ones to you guys before.
Yeah, don't worry. It should be safe. I mean, keep your wits about you, but we should be okay. Goes to open the door.
You evil maniacal laughing from the DM.
Big to be continued on the bottom.
And then Yes's roundabout starts playing.
So yeah, next session should be fun. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. What did you guys think of this session? I kind of changed things up a bit. I was wondering how you guys enjoyed it.
I had fun.
It was good.
Good times.
I concur.
I'm glad.
We got to get better notes as to what the hell we were up to, though.
What?
I have to improve my note taking.
Oh.
I feel like I should probably make a Google Doc.
The answer to what we did last time is always burn it all down.
I mean, that's a way to deal with taking notes by making it not necessary. But
I mean, if you want to try and burn down the big, scary, unholy
stone crypt, go ahead.
Burn it all down. We burn down all the Evermores. Everything is good.
It might go poorly for you, though.
I was gonna say, it's not that Evdrill doesn't want to burn down all the unholy, but stone.
Yeah, you can try to burn down the unholy, but I will not be responsible. Or you can try to burn down the stone crypt, but I will not be responsible for what happens if you try.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Is there a way we can transmute things at range?
Also, don't answer that.
Is the laughter not answer enough?
The evil laughter is the answer to the question about whether or not we can transmute things at range.
Oh, transmute things?
I
Why are you trying to transmute things?
Well, I'm thinking about a kilogram of anti-osmium should do it.
No, you cannot transmute antimatter. That is not a thing that you are allowed to do.
Why though?
If you want antimatter, I am certain that there is an elemental plane or something of it somewhere, and you can go there and bring it back.
Would that be the negative energy plane or the positive energy plane?
I don't know. I feel like it might be a different plane, but
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's on a
Planes
completely
can't
different
shoot that.
axis.
yeah.
You
It'd
may
be kinda
recall there are a
interesting-
lot of axes in Planescape.
Regardless, the important point of that was that no, you cannot transmute antimatter to solve your problems.
Damn it.
That sounds
But
like
it does such a good job of solving my problems.
That sounds like a horrifying way to actually make burning everything down a viable solution. So no antimatter transmutation to solve your problems.
So it would be impressive if you can get to the antimatter realm and not explode immediately upon arrival.
Yes, if you want to start blowing shit up with antimatter, go to the damn plane and figure out a way to collect stuff there.
I think it is
Cube
probably
magic.
a good idea to figure out how to collect things there before we go. I mean, if we don't
There's a
know, it's
logic
not
to
like
that.
we're going to have time to do research once we get there.
No comment.
Given the fraction of a second we will continue to exist before becoming a very energetic event.
No comment.
You know
Right.
who else is a very energetic event?
In any case, anti-osmium is not something that a druid should be using in any way.
No. No.
But it's natural.
I enjoy good creative ideas, but no. Please use your common sense.
It's a little metagamey, but try not to ruin the entire thing.
Shh. My common sense is tingling.
Does it say don't make kilograms of antimatter to blow up the world?
A kilogram would hardly be enough to blow up the entire world.
That's why I said kilograms plural.
Yeah, that's
Some
reasonable.
number greater than 2.
Greater than or equal to 2.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. No antimatter transmutation in game.
I suppose about 100 kilograms near the planetary core might be enough.
Anyhow. Yeah. I'll send you something about I'll put up something about skill proficiencies sometime before next session. Any other comments, questions, concerns, etc., etc.?
Nomination?
Yes, that too.
I think it's oxes.
Uh-huh. I have Ox on the list. Ox, what up?
Sorry, what?
It's your nomination.
Oh. I'll have to go with Soliloquy for the story.
Well deserved.
Gaming for the win. Woo!
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll add it to the list. Yeah, there's nothing else. I will see you guys all next week, I guess.
Yeah,
Have a good one.
Woo! Later.
See ya.
All right. Have a good week, guys.